Tip 1. Conserve water. Did you know that the average Slovene consumes 100 liters of water per day? As summers get hotter and drier, conserving water will be increasingly important. Turning the tap off when it is not needed is a first step. For example, when brushing your teeth or doing the dishes. You can also water the plants with watering cans instead of a hose. The car can be washed by hand with a bucket and sponge. Other useful ideas include shower instead of bathing, collecting the cold water before a shower in a container. It can be used to water the plants. If you have a garden, install a water collection system. The kids can compare the taste of rainwater to tap water. Tip 2. Save energy. Alexa, turn on the lights. It seems so easy, but producing energy is complex. Explain to children where electricity comes from: the wind, rivers, sun, minerals, oil, and how we extract the energy and transport it home with solar panels, dams, power plants, electric lines, and so on. Maybe even what renewable energies are, but most importantly, how to save energy. For example, keep windows and doors closed in winter and avoid excessive heating or air conditioning. Instead of taking the car for short drives, walk, ride, or skate. It saves fuel and money. Consider walking the kids to school or using public transport. You can also switch off unneeded lights, electronic devices, and appliances. Tip 3. Conserve food. We use a lot of water and energy to produce food. Currently, agriculture accounts for 70% of all freshwater consumption globally. Therefore, do not let it go to waste. Fresh produce tends to spoil after just a few days. Show your children by example. Buy only the foods that you plan to consume. Also, purchase vegetables and fruits even if they do not look perfect. Additionally, you can take your kids to local markets and show them the precedence of products. You can try to buy seasonal and locally produced foods. If you own a garden, you can also grow your own veggies and fruits without fertilizers or pesticides. Compost all organic waste. Did you know that the raising of cattle for beef is a major contributor to deforestation in the Amazons? You can reduce the amount of meat in your diet and help save the earth. Tip 4. Reuse and recycle. Are you a fan of fast fashion? We all like snappy clothes, but did you know that most garments are produced in Asia? They travel thousands of miles to your store or mailbox. The production of most cotton almost comes from a single region in China, Xinjiang, known for human rights abuses of workers and minorities. You can mitigate this by buying second-hand clothes in specialized stores or in internet exchange sites. Also, you can pass the old ones to your family and friends. Rather than throwing clothes away, you can darn or patch them to give them a new lease of life. Reusing clothes is a fun thing to do with your kids. And not only textiles, you can also avoid single-use items, plastic bags, cups, straws. Bring your own bottles, containers, and bags when shopping. Try to use paper instead of plastic, as this biodegrades and can be recycled. Finally, keep a bin with all the packaging so they can see how much you generate. Tip 5. Biodiversity. How green is your local park? Its biodiversity, birds, insects, plants, are a good indicator of its health. The more species, the better. Try to promote biodiversity by helping them, for instance, by keeping your dog on a leash when walking it and by using litter bins. Cats are probably the biggest threat to birds and reptiles in our community. A study found that the average kitty kills 20 wild animals a year. Keep your cats indoors whenever possible. In addition, do not buy exotic plants or animals. They are not indigenous and eventually may find their way into nature, often becoming invasive species. If you own a garden, you can increase biodiversity by planting a variety of flowers that attract insects. Also, you can mow the grass sparingly rather than every week and perhaps not all the lawn at once. Leave some patches with flowers for butterflies and bees. Tip 6. Responsible behavior. Children want to be superheroes and save the world. Empower them by giving them jobs, for instance, looking after plants or pets. They can also help you by shopping responsibly and cooking with you. That way, they can learn to avoid fast food and already prepared meals. You can also join local initiatives as a volunteer and let them participate. Raising awareness of the environment starts by feeling close to it and developing a sense of ownership. Tip 7. Know your neighbor. Kids love going outdoors. Take them to local farms, fairs, and museums. Learn and teach them about the local history, foods, and nature, and maybe even your neighbors down the street. Building a community helps protect your local environment. You can also participate in additional school activities that get them close to nature, such as gardening, camps, excursions to parks, and so on. Tip 8. Support environmental causes. Our actions speak louder than words. Collaborate with organizations supporting nature. Encourage your children to take part in green actions at school, at home, and at sport and art centers. Finally, keep yourself informed about political and economic issues.